I don't know. I might say some bad words I'm not supposed to say. I don't know. Portion control, is that a trigger?
I think it could be a trigger for some people, but it's okay. And this could be a whole nother. Yeah. Like intuitive eating.
I gotta look into that. I don't know what it is.
Oh, read the book. It's okay. That book, like, honest to God, changed the way I look at food. But it has been taken, and I feel like it's been taken and twisted into something that it was never meant to be. It's like trying to be cater to everyone and make everyone feel good. And it's like recovery isn't about feeling good.
The feel good is going to be at the end of it, but the process is not going to feel good in the beginning.
And it's not always going to be great. It's not always going to be sunshine. It's not and happy rainbows and everything. Like, it's gonna suck. It's legit gonna suck. It's scary. It's a hard process, and there is no end date. So that's also scary. With like intuitive eating, I feel like it's been hijacked, and it's now this eat whatever you want, which means just eat junk food and eat all of it. And you're not supposed to use the word junk food when it's talking about intuitive eating. I still do. Whatever. It is what it is.
Cheetos are exactly a whole food.
You're supposed to call them fun foods.
Okay. I'll buy it for now. Keep going.
I think it's been kind of taken in a different direction for a lot of people coming from a disordered eating background, and they're in recovery. Intuitive eating can be super helpful, but you still have to be careful. And I feel like people, they throw caution to the wind and they just dive into it being like, I can eat everything and anything because I'm eating intuitively and I'm just eating. Portion control, moderation, like those concepts are being tossed aside. Yeah. Because they're negative.
But portion control can be a good thing because you need to eat a certain amount of protein in order to build back muscle. You need a certain portion of healthy fats because your body needs fats to run on. It's a fuel. It needs it for nerve cells, like for little biological molecules in your body. It needs healthy fat. So like that's where I feel portion control could be a good thing. But you're the expert. Continue.
I feel like starting out with like recovery and stuff, for I would say the majority of people, they do need to set aside the concept of portion control because that's taken over their life. They need to kind of go in the polar opposite direction. If you just go full throttle this way, you're on the verge of like binging and a whole new disorder. Congratulations, like you got another one. The thing is, like, everyone's different and everyone can handle different things, but I used to think this way. If you need to eat something in moderation, that means that you shouldn't be eating it in the first place.
Yeah, I've tripped down that path a couple times. You're like, wait, no. Peanut butter is good for me. Why am I not eating peanut butter? Gosh darn it.
That's so ingrained in their brain that they either go overboard in restricting or they go overboard and just eat it all. Yeah. Because they're like, I'm rejecting that concept. I'm a rebel. Rebelling against healthy habits is not something to be praised. So to answer your question, I think the question was, is the words portion control triggering? This is the long way around to get to. It is for some people, but I really don't think it should be. But it's a healthy concept. And just because it's a concept that some people follow doesn't mean you have to do it.
Well, just like any tool, it can be taken to an extreme, eating only fruit. Or binging.
Or binging on fruit.
Fruit is good, but please don't just eat fruit.
Some people only eat fruit. They're not getting a lot of fats in their diet. And last time I checked, a lot of sections of the brain are run off fat. So, you can't always hold people to what they're saying if their brain isn't at full capacity of functionality. I'm just saying.
I like that one. Oh, that was fun. I liked it. Cool side note, there are a lot of hormones that we need to live. So like our normal girly hormones or our normal manly hormones that each of us have in our bodies just at different levels, right, require fat. Like those hormones are quite literally made up of molecules of fat. And if you're eating only one certain food group, such as fruit, you're not getting all of the nutrients you need, which means for women, a lot of our, I don't know, cycle, whatever you want to call it, girliness that our hormones attribute to is going to suffer. Especially, and I'm going way off the deep end here, especially if a woman wants to become pregnant and have that baby, like it's at that point you really need these different food groups, because it's not just you, it's somebody else too.
Another YouTuber that I watch, she is fabulous, and she's a competitive bodybuilder. She loves being lean. She loves being like, oh my gosh, she's jacked. She's incredible looking. Like, I think most people are probably like, she's scary looking, but she's incredible. She wants to get pregnant. So she has to put aside her own desires of a certain physique in order to have a little bit more fat on her body.
That's gotta be hard.
Whole nother like subject of like body image and like having to make this huge change that you aren't super keen on, but the end goal for her, have a baby, and you want to have a healthy baby, and you want to be healthy while carrying healthy baby, you know?
There are a lot of professional runners, like female runners, who have to, this is really hard, because we're getting to like sports medicine, which is my thing, but they have to take a break from their sport, from their job, to one, get their bodies to a point of, I have enough fat that I can have this baby, carry this baby, right? Because they're lean, mean running machines, and just a product of their job is they're super lean. So same thing as that bodybuilder, they have to change their diet, then they have to take time out of their job and their sport to have said baby, and then there's a whole recovery process from having the baby. This body image that goes along, it's a whole other issue to unbox.
For her, like, she loves looking like super muscular and lean and all of this, and it's going to change.
It is.
And she said this, it's more important to have a baby. She's very smart and intelligent, like very intelligent. So she knows it's probably going to be a struggle, because she already struggles with some body like dysmorphia kind of thing, and I think a lot of bodybuilders do. I wish her all the best, and I think she's very capable of making it through strong.
If she's made it this far in physique building, she could have a baby.
She's smart enough to know going into this it's going to be tough mentally for her, but she's you know, obviously that means that she's taking she has a good approach. But you actually mentioned hormones. That would be the last thing that on my list that we didn't talk about, is bloat, hormones, and fitness progress. You mentioned something in your talking points that you sent me, giving yourself permission to change and adapt. As much as I'm like, I have to work out every single day, sometimes I have to take a break because the belly's just not feeling it.
It's not going to feel good. You're just going to feel worse afterwards. Yeah, it's like, it's giving yourself permission to change what progress looks like. So, personal story, for the month of September, I gave myself a core challenge because I love working out because I'm a physical therapist, but I had a real smart blonde moment the other week. I was like, wow, if you actually want to develop a muscle group, you actually have to work it out specifically to fatigue at least 3 times a week. Wow, I wonder why my core's not getting stronger. So yeah, the fitness professional had a light bulb moment. So that's what I did. That's what I've been doing this September. So I told myself, do a 15 to 20 minute core workout 3 to 5 times a week. Like, I had to make it very measurable, very objective, so that when this bloating occurred and I would get down on myself, I could say, wait, no, girlfriend, you are doing great. Remember those last 2 core workouts you did? You can't do one today. You know what? That's okay. Tomorrow's Thursday. You can do it then. The next day's Friday. You can do it then. It's okay. But that way you have these safety nets established where you're like, no, I did do this. I have accomplished. This is what progress looks like for me. Right now, my body isn't showing that to me. You know what? It's kind of lying, and we're going to ignore it. And we're going to say, no, I accomplished A, B, and C.
Every day of the week is a designated muscle group. Even when like I'll be super bloated, and I think legs and core are the hardest to do when you're bloated. No one wants to bend over and pick something up, you know,
And put it down and do it again.
Yeah,
why?
20 times, because like, no, you know, and I've noticed that like when my belly is bloated, and it might just be perception, I feel like my legs are a little bit more bloated too. I think it's just my lower half. There's bloat there. There's a little bit extra water retention. Probably something. I'm like, I need to work out my legs because I love working out my legs so much. I do it twice a week. Woo! This has happened a couple times over the past month or so. Is I'm bloated, I work out, and then I look in the mirror and I'm like, it didn't do anything. Like, what's the point? At the end of the day, you need to separate visual physique from activity because you're not always going to see it. And it needs to be more about just movement than looking a way you want to look, because you're not always going to look that way. You're going to retain water, salt, bloat, gas. Like, that's going to exist in your body. It's going to happen. And and so there have been times where it's like, it's leg day, but what's the point? Because I'm bloated.
Because it's good for you. That's why.
Exactly. Yeah. It's like the point is to be stronger, or the point is just to move, and it's a good thing to do. If you have a bubble butt or not, again, who really cares? Really recent realization. It's like, I need to fitness needs to be healthy. Like, it needs to be for health.
It needs to be your self-care. Like, fitness needs to be for you. And like, there are times where I'm like, I need to do a HIIT workout because I need the cardio. But my stomach is like, no, we're not doing it. I'm like, you know what's acceptable? Yoga. Yoga is okay because I'm still moving, because movement is medicine. I'm taking care of myself. It's healthy, and that's okay. Or that walk we keep talking about.
When gyms closed, I was like, I panicked for about a day. But then I had to like ask myself, why are you panicking? Up until this point, exercise wasn't about like earning your food or burning off like food. It wasn't about that. So why suddenly are you afraid? Even now, I've made the decision not to go back to the gym, even though they reopened. I've made that decision because they changed their hours. It doesn't really work with my work schedule anymore. I need to save money right now, so I'm not going to pay for a gym membership. I know that if I still have the membership, I'll be afraid. I'm afraid that like I'll feel guilty not going and have this membership that I'm spending money on that I'm not using. Gyms seem like the number one place where bacteria, one of the, close proximity bacteria,
Sweating.
Not cleaning up properly.
People do weird stuff in gyms.
Especially the janky one I go to. Like, I've seen things. Right now, it's not going to work. So when gyms closed, it was like, it's not going to change. It's just going to look differently. Back when I was going every single day, I started to like adopt this identity of like, I'm a gym bro. Like, this is what I do. I lift. And I love that. Like, I felt really like confident and good about myself because I was like, I'm good at this.
It's fun. Like, I lifted pretty seriously for about 9 months, and I put on a lot. I was thinking about this the other day. I put on a lot of mass. Like, it was partly muscle mass. I was trying to intuitively eat, like you said, I just ate whatever I wanted. So some of it was fat mass. And like, it was really awesome to feel that strong and be able like to check off the boxes of like, yep, this was my squat before, but now my squat's this. I'm squatting my body weight. I'm squatting over my body weight. So yeah, like, being a gym bro was cool for a while.
All of a sudden, like, I can't go anymore. Okay, I'm going to still work out as best as I can. I have very limited equipment, but I'm going to do what I can. My muscle, gone. My strength, gone. I can still lift, but I cannot lift to the level that I was. And it was really hard for me to like process, like, my body has changed. I have lost a lot, and I hate it.
It's hard, but you have to tell yourself, you know what? I started here. Like, this is where I started, and I put the work in, and I got to that point where I could lift or I could squat X amount of weight. And if I did it once, I can do it again. Over
the experience of 5 years of lifting, I have learned a lot. I have learned what to do. I have learned what not to do.
You learned what not to do.
Oh yeah. We were on lockdown. I was at home, and I like started reading, and I started looking into all these things so that when I do go back, I've got way more knowledge, and I can do it better than last time. I can do it more correct than last time. And I know that I can do it again. And I'm going to be smart about it this time.
And honestly, you're going to do it better, and you're probably going to see better results now that you have more knowledge. Like, just looking at how I used to work out before PT school to how I work out now as a physical therapist, it looks totally different. And that's okay. Like, it was still, how I worked out then wasn't bad. It wasn't wrong, actually. It was just a different way of doing it. And same with you now. You've educated yourself. You might have different goals in mind now, and you're going to be able to accomplish those because you have the tools to do it.
I don't have like a set plan in place for like diet, but I have a better understanding of like, okay, if I want to gain X amount of strength or X amount of muscle, my diet is going to have to change. And just like
it has to change.
Just like it changed when the gym's closed, I'm not expending that much energy anymore. I'm in recovery from an eating disorder of restriction, but I'm not using that much energy. I had to kind of give myself permission to eat less.
That would be hard.
And
wow. You're not punishing yourself. You didn't do anything wrong.
Things change. I can't just jump from X amount of calories to this massive amount. I have to do it gradual. Shock to the system. Bloating. Hello.
Be mindful of your return to gym program, because I know how tempting it is. You're like, yes, I can squat, I can deadlift again, I can bench, and you try to do everything in one day.
Oh yeah, no.
It's not going to go well.
Yeah.
Be smart, build up your weight, build up your reps, fuel and recover appropriately. Like you said, it's a process, and you got to ramp up. Otherwise, you're going to have these not fun side effects.
I think a lot of it is just being okay with the changes. I also have to kind of talk myself through like, okay, when you first started going to the gym, your body changed in this way. It might change differently this time. It might not look the way it did before. Years back, when I started gaining weight, my body changed and no one prepared me for the changes. Yeah. And it was like I went from being a stick to suddenly having curves and hips. And I gained a bunch of weight, lost a bunch of weight, gained again, and my body gained it back differently.
How much time was between the two weight gains?
So from May 2011 to October 2011 was the first weight gain. Very, very big one. Early 2012 is when I went through a weight loss. Not a super severe weight loss. I probably kept that weight off for a couple of years. So I maintained like a healthy body weight for a couple of years. And then it was probably in like 2014 that I gained like 10. The first time I gained weight, it was 50 plus pounds.
Plus when you were X age compared to the other age, because your body was growing and adapting. So the weight gain's going to look different. It's still like, duh, you know it, but it's still wild.
It's not like I went from having like a one type of body to another type of body. Like I'm always going to have like,
still you.
Like my genetics didn't magically change and I suddenly, it's not like that. It's just, I noticed that like fat was stored differently or like just muscle was stored differently. And when I started working out at the gym, obviously my body had never had this kind of gone through any
stimulus before.
Right. And I've never like attempted to build muscle on purpose before.
Your body's like, whoa.
Yeah.
What are we doing?
It's like, where do we put these muscles? Where? So I changed that way. And now when I return to the gym in the distant future, it's not like muscle is going to be gained differently. It's just, I need to be open to like physique wise. It might be a little different.
It might be different.
Especially knowing more now. And doing it properly this time.
A bicep is still a bicep.
Yeah.
A hamstring is still a hamstring.
You do this, it will build this.
It will.
Versus if you do a push-up or if you want to do Arnie's, which is a totally different shoulder workout, your muscle's going to adapt and respond appropriately to a different stimulus you give it.
I need to have more of a leniency to rest days.
Those are hard.
They are. They really are. This time off has given me like so much more insight into my bloating. Just because I'm going to the gym doesn't mean now, bloating isn't like relevant anymore. Like it's still going to happen.
It'll still be there.
It'll still be there. And I need to be okay not going to the gym.
We said before, you have to give yourself permission for progress to look different. Especially now going back to the gym or taking care of yourself.
Like you said, like I could either go to the gym and have a really crappy workout because I feel like crap, or I could stay home, in bed, rest a little bit more, sleep in, and then do like a 20-minute yoga, like relaxed yoga routine.
Absolutely.
And
that is totally fair. That's still movement.
Go for a walk around the block.
Mm-hmm.
And that's going to be better mentally and probably better physically than trying to push yourself at the gym and then leaving the gym being like, well, I just wasted an hour of my life because what was that all about? I just felt like crap.
I don't know if that's ever happened to you, but when I was lifting seriously and I was lifting heavy basically every time, every other time. Anywho, that's a whole different discussion. And I was eating, like I said, I was eating a lot, so I was putting on mass. I was still exhausted and struggling to get through my reps. I still haven't figured out what I did wrong. But maybe it could have been a mental thing because the work environment I was in wasn't all that healthy, so it took a toll on me physically, so that my physical performance at the gym was pretty sucky.
No, I have experienced that. I've done all the same things. I haven't changed my diet. I'm sleeping pretty good, but I never really sleep very good anyway. I think it comes down to stress, to the point where it was like taking a physical toll on my body. I could listen to my body and rest, or I'm
going to lift heavy anyway. That sounds like a really great idea right now.
and barely be able to make it through my sets, be just tired.
Because for me, I wanted to hit that check mark. I wanted to squat X amount that day, and I was going to do it. But when you're coming down from the bottom of your squat, and you're getting a little lightheaded, you should probably take that as a sign that you probably shouldn't be doing that.
Oh yeah, there were times where my leg start to shake. I'm proud to say that eventually it got to the point where I told myself, if you feel it in your legs, we're going to go down weight.
And that's okay.
Yeah, and that's okay, because I could do 5 shitty squats where I'm shaking with terrible form, risking injury, or I could down the weight by 15 and do 15 squats.
Yeah,
with perfect form.
The reps is perfectly acceptable.
Yeah, and it's still progress. It's still like work put into progress.
Because sometimes you got to build that base a little bit more, because endurance is still progress before you build strength.
We touched a lot of topics.
Yeah.
We went a lot of places today. Yeah.
I have one last little blurb, but it's real short. Returning to the gym is hard right now because of financials, which is absolutely true, because I'm actually in the same boat. I want to go to a gym right down the road for me, but I'm like, you know what? I can't afford the $45-$50 a month right now. But as a physical therapist, and I'm seeing people go back to the gyms, I don't want them to get hurt, obviously. But if they do, or if anybody else is experiencing injury from return to work out at home, whatever, don't skimp on taking care of yourself. Physical therapy can help with, let's say, a gym injury, that's what we've been talking about. Don't skip on that. Like, I realize it's more money out the door, but if you try to muscle through it, at the gym, you're going to end up with this nasty cycle. So please, invest in yourself during this time where everything is uncertain. That is one certainty, is taking care of yourself, and seek out medical care, whether it's any kind of annual visit you got to go do with your regular physician. If it's a physical therapist because you're having back pain because you've been sitting at your desk for so long because you work from home now. Yeah, just take that time and invest yourself, because you're not going to regret the money you spent on your health. The end. Thanks, lady. This was fun. I'm glad we did this.
This was a lot of fun. We should do it again sometime.
Okay.
Well, thanks for chatting about all this and talking about bloating. I'm sure between the two of us, we can come up with some other topics.
We could have so much fun.
All right. Well, thanks for agreeing to do this. This was
absolutely
fun.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
It was a good time.
Yes, it was. I agree. All right. Well, then I guess I will say toodles.
Have a great week.
Thank you. You as well.
Bye.
So if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you did not enjoy it, you can give it a thumbs down. That is cool too. If you are not subscribed already, please consider subscribing and hit the notification bell to be notified of all future uploads. If you have any video suggestions, comments, questions, anything at all, feel free to leave that in the comment section below. Be sure to go follow me over on Instagram and go follow Marie over on Instagram as well. And I will see you next time. Bye!